Welcome to How to Play the Left Hand to Minuet in G Major, sometimes called Minuet 3 in the Suzuki Piano Method Book 2. We'll begin by writing in the notes and the fingering. This is the B section. So, all cows eat grass. That makes this a G, the 4 spaces. All cows eat grass. Going down one note, we have F. In the key signature, F is sharp. So this is an F sharp. We'll put the sharp here too as another reminder. F sharp. Going down one more, we've got E. All cows eat. All cows eat grass. Back to E. Our last note here, A. Going all cows eat grass, and the note after G, A. You can also do good boys do fine always. Okay, let's move on to the second line. Oh, forgot a note, A. Lower A there. So, just reading the letters isn't going to really get you the right answer all the time. You have to look at the notes. That's a higher A, a lower A. All right, we're back to the high A here. Moving up one, we've got B. Now this is a space note, this is a space note, and it skips over the note that would be on the line, which would be middle C. So skipping a note from B up to D. Now we're going to come back to that note, C. However, it is C sharp. And it's not there's not a sharp in the key signature. This is a sharp that was added just for this note. It's good for the entire measure, but there's no other notes after this, so it's just good for that note. All right, now we're up to D again, and down to F sharp. We'll put the sharp in, F sharp. A, going back up again to that note above middle C, that's D. Okay, down here we can do good boys do for D, or we can go all cows will give us the space, and then one more note is D. So that's another D, a higher D, a lower D. And here is C, and this is not a C sharp, this is a C natural, middle C. And why is this natural sign here? It doesn't need to be there, because we had a C sharp back here, but that sharp is only good for this one measure. The sharp in the key signature is good for the entire song, but it's only good for this measure. However, this is just a reminder to let us know that it is C natural, having so recently played a C sharp. Okay, there it is. Now let's take a look at it on the keyboard. But before we do that, let's write in our finger numbers. We've started with 2. So if we're going down one note, we'll just go down to the next finger on the left hand. The fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're going down 2, down to 3. All right, we're going down one more, so that's a 4. We skip a note, so we skip a finger, going back up. 4, 2, back down to 4. And here the book tells us 1. This is an octave from A down to A, so we'll have to use our 5 down here. All right, now we're going to jump right back up to the A that we were on over here. So we'll put a 1 here for our thumb. And then we're going up a note. All right, well, we've gone up as far as we can in our hand, so we're going to have to cross over with our third finger to play B, and then skipping a note up to D gives us a 1. Coming back down one note gives us a 2. Going back up gives us a 1. And here's a 4. Now, this used to be a 5 in the old Suzuki book, so you could put a 5 and a 3 here, but a 4 and a 2 is pretty effective also. Let's put a 1 up here because we're jumping from A clear up to D. There's only one way to get there, and we'll have to just stretch our fingers a little bit and go from 2 to 1. Dropping down an octave gives us a 5. There we go. We've got 2 lines. While you're still looking at the music, I will play the first line. We haven't talked about rhythm. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the rhythm here is very simple as well. 3 beats here, and then just even counting for the rest of the quarter notes there. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. All right, here's what it looks like on the keyboard. Here's our middle C here. We're starting on the G below middle C with our second finger for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, it is again without the counting. Now the next line starts with a dotted half note and then 9 quarter notes. Also, this involves crossing over. You start with your thumb on A for 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, then cross over with B. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, looking at the last 2 lines, we're learning the left hand. That, of course, is the bottom staff here and the bottom staff here. Here it appears we have 5 beats in the measure, and that's pretty much impossible in a song that's in 3/4 time. It's kind of an overlapping thing. We've got this one being held for 2 beats and overlapping with this one. This one starts on the 2nd beat and it holds over during the 3rd beat. This is kind of complicated and not really necessary for kids. We're just going to turn these into quarter notes. So there's a quarter note, there's a quarter note, and that stem should be drawn down, but it doesn't really matter. So we've got 3 quarter notes there. We're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, now we've got all quarter notes. It'll be easy to count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's quickly put in the notes and the fingers. Well, we're starting with a B here. It's the note right below middle C. This little line right here is the note that is the line that middle C goes on. So right above middle C is D. Back down to a B. Here's our middle C we've been talking about. We're going to skip up because we go from this line to that line, so we have to skip a note, C, D, E. Back down to C. And then we're going down steadily here, so backwards in the alphabet, B, A, and everybody knows the letter before A, right? G. And then we're going a skip up to D. And it's okay to just look back along the line. And if you had a D over here, it's going to be a D over there. And it spells bag in the 3rd measure. Isn't that cool? All right, last line. Oh, let's put the finger numbers in. 3, we're skipping up. So that's 1, back down, 3. Then 2, it's a skip, but we can't skip to, we can't skip a finger because we just got to use our thumb here. If you don't believe me, try it on the keyboard. And then we're back down to 2 again. We get 3, and we're going down, so 4 and 5. And a big skip up there, we'll go back to 1. It's a skip of 5 notes, so we're going to skip 5 fingers. All right, taking a look at the last line. We're going to kind of do the same thing here. We're going to make this just a half note for 2 beats, get rid of the dot. These rests are meaningless, as they are up here now. So we've got 2 beats here and 1 beat here, and this note is F sharp. I'll go ahead and mark the little sharp in there. Let's get the notes. Good boys do, that's a D. Hold for 2 beats, then we've got F sharp. Okay, all cows eat gives us an E. Same thing, gives us G. There's F sharp again. Here's all cows eat grass. Okay, this note down here, bottom space is A, so the one after that is B. It's kind of hard to remember good boys do fine always for the line, so I just typically use the spaces. A is the bottom space, that's a B. A, C for all cows gives us that space, and one more is D. And we've had these notes before. The top one is G, middle one D, bottom one, well, let's use good boys do fine always. That'll give us a G. Or we could say the bottom space is A and one below that is G. All right, here's our finger numbers. Tells us to put 4 here. You know, in the old Suzuki book, that's a 5, and I'm going to make it a 5. All right, and then this is something a little unusual because we're only skipping 1 note from D up to F sharp. So we would expect to put our 3rd finger here, but 2nd finger is going to work better for us. Let's leave our 2 there. Then we're going to go down 1 to 3, skip up 1 to 1, going down to 2, back up to 1. 4 is pretty good, you know. Both here and up in the the previous line, 5 is okay. I think for smaller hands, 5 works a little bit better. But that'll make a difference on this note too, because if we're skipping up 1 from 4, it'll be 2, and if we skip from 5, it will be 3. So now you've got options here. I hate options. All right. So actually, I'll just have to try this out on the keyboard and see which fingering I think is really the best. All right. First, I'll play it while you're still looking at the music. Here's the third line of the B section, and it's all quarter notes, even counting till we get to there, 1, 2, and a rest. Once more. All right. And our last line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, I think I like this new fingering. I'm going to take the 5, 3 out of there, leave it at 4, 2. That way it kind of keeps your 2 right on the same note from here and here. Be easier to learn, and it feels pretty good too. I guess if you're like 4 years old and using and learning this piece, you might use 5. Okay, let's take a look at it on the keyboard. Now you'll want to have your own copy of your music handy for this while you're watching this video, so you can follow what I'm doing. But here we go on the third line. This is officially measure 25. Here's middle C right here, so we're starting right below middle C on B. And once again. And our last line, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, just 2 beats on the first half note, then all quarter notes. 1, 2. I hope you enjoyed learning this very popular minuet.